Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
We begin with breaking news from overnight. A total of 6 people were shot in New Orleans and 2 of the victims have died. The NOPD says it happened at the intersection of St. Bernard and North Claiborne shortly before midnight. 4 of the victims were taken to the hospital by EMS. 2 others arrived at the hospital on their own. Again, 2 of the victims have died. 4 others are injured. This is footage Eyewitness News took shortly after midnight at the scene. Investigators are in the process of identifying suspects and a motive. No other information is available at this time. If you know anything about this deadly shooting, call the NOPD or Crime Stoppers. Meanwhile, the NOPD is also investigating a double shooting that occurred in the 700 block of Chapatoulas Street. We do not know when exactly it happened, but the NOPD notified us about this about 1:30 this morning. We have not yet received an update on the condition of the 2 victims who were shot. We will continue to monitor this story for more updates.